Every single disc golf company would tell you, as they should, that their discs are the best in the business. It's part marketing, part common sense, and part tongue-in-cheek, because if we're being realistic, most companies probably haven't actually tested their discs against all the competition. So when I reached out to Derek, the owner of Birdie Disc Golf Supply, and asked him to tell me about their company, I shouldn't have been too surprised when he said that their putter, the Marvel, was, quote, hands down the best putter on the market. But is it though? Well, we'll have to see for ourselves, and maybe seek a second expert opinion along the way, because these are our first impressions. Hey everyone, it's Greg from Six Sided Discs. Now, I should be honest up front that this isn't 100% our first impression of Birdie Disc Golf Supply Company. We threw their fairway driver, the Strike, in a recent Flight Numbers Don't Matter video where we compared a bunch of T-Bird inspired fairway drivers. And while we intend to revisit the Strike today, all the rest of their discs are totally new to us. Birdie Disc Golf Supply was started in 2018 by Derek and Gina Fell. Located in Newcastle, Delaware, southwest of Philadelphia, they started as primarily a disc golf retail and apparel business. Derek initially started selling discs part-time before the brand slowly grew into what it is today. Today, Birdie is also a manufacturer, retailer, and sponsor of several notable players, including Jacob Cupcake Curtis, Scott Stokely, Alex Geisinger, and Chicago White Sox pitcher Dylan Cease. They have 5 discs approved by the PDGA, though only 3 are currently available on the market. Produced by multiple manufacturers in the United States, Birdie puts a lot of focus on the style and design of both their discs and apparel. The first disc we tested from Birdie was the Strike. Approved by the PDGA in September of 2022, it came less than a year after Birdie's first disc, the Marvel. The Strike is a 7502 fairway driver, available in both their premium and color glow plastics. When we tested it alongside other fairway drivers in our T-Bird video, we were impressed by not just its overstability, but by its incredible distance. While many of the fairway drivers we threw landed around 330 to 350 feet, the Strike flew right on past to well over 400 feet. And the same was true the second time around we had Caleb throw the Strike. It continued to be a hugely impressive fairway driver. The Strike is in fact a pretty impressive disc for a smaller brand. Let's see if their next disc can follow suit with the Ultra. The Ultra is an overstable midrange rated at 5 speed, 3 glide, no turn, and 3 fade. It has a similar shape and feel to other flat top overstable midranges like the Buzz OS. One of Birdie's sponsored pros and accomplished distance thrower, Alex Geisinger, had this to say about the Ultra. Quote, "The Ultra made my bag instantly when I saw the torque resistance it had, as well as being able to push and finish exactly where I wanted it to. I've been searching for a mid like this for many years and have finally found that unique flight path in the Ultra." So how did it fly for us? Well, torque resistance? Check. Overstability? Very much check. In fact, why don't we take a look at the Ultra side by side with some overstable midranges we tested in a recent video. Here's the Ultra side by side with the Buzz OS. And also with the West Side Bard. And the Ultra definitely looks the part, so if you're on the hunt for an overstable midrange, the Ultra should definitely be on your list. And that leaves us with the only other disc available from Birdie currently, the Marvel. The Marvel is rated at 2 speed, 3 glide, 0 turn, and 1 fade. The gold standard for putter flight numbers. And exactly the same as several other very popular putters, including Innova's Aviar, the Latitude 64 Hope and Faith, the Discmania P2, and more than a few others. The Marvel is available in nearly every plastic that Birdie has made, including UV Glow, Base Blend, a medium base plastic, Stiff Blend, a super rigid base plastic, and finally, Birdie Premium. Premium feels a lot like Innova's Star plastic or Prodigy 400G plastic. It's typically an opaque, solid color with just a little bit of flex. At first glance, the Birdie looks and feels like a lot of these popular putters. But what exactly makes it, as Derek said, hands down the best putter on the market? Now, like I said earlier, I feel like every company has to say this about their discs, in the same way that every car company is going to tell you that they make the best car. So we thought, what if we get an expert opinion from someone who's not afraid to speak their mind? During a recent interview on our podcast, All Six Sides, I asked Scott Stokely to tell us more about the Marvel. I just want to pick out one specific manufacturer in there, Birdie Disc Golf. Birdie's a smaller, newer company. They only make 3 discs at the moment, though I understand they have a few more on the way. I talked to them recently, and which of their discs do you throw, and what do you like about it?
Well, so I throw the Marvel, and the reason, I putt the Marvel. The reason why I putt it is that I was having 2 years ago, I was putting the Berg, which the Berg is my number one all-time favorite disc in the world, but it's not really a putter, and I probably shouldn't have been putting it. I'm not saying you shouldn't putt it or someone else shouldn't putt it, but I don't think I should have putted. And so in the middle of the season, the DGPT, I was just putting terribly. I just was having a hard time, and I said, I need to make a change. And I took 2 weeks and to try to work on my putting. And one of the things I did is I decided to switch putters. So I took 7 different molds and the Berg. So I had 8 different molds. And I just did about, correct me if I'm wrong, I did 20,000 putts. I did 20,000 total putts with those 8 discs. And my girlfriend sat on the back of a truck with a notepad for her phone, whatever, just counted all 20,000 makes and misses and in a spreadsheet. And I specifically chose big bead, medium bead, small bead, hard, soft, medium, and then the Berg, because I wanted to see which would be the best putter. And the Marvel just made more putts by a measurable margin. And so I didn't choose the Marvel. I chose the putter that went in the most, and it was the Marvel, but it wasn't even close. Now, I say not even close. It might have been 10% more or something. But when you have that large number of simple items, the variance, that's a shocking variance. And it was large enough sample size where if I had done 10 times that amount, it would have been plus or minus 1 or 2% of that. I mean, that's a large enough number to predict the result. So I switched to the Marvel because it went in more. So what do I like about it the most? It goes in the most.
Now, I'm not sure what I expected Scott to say, but I didn't expect such a sort of statistical, mathematical approach. But given the data and the approach that he took, I think it's hard to argue that for Scott, the Marvel is in fact the best putter. Whether this totally supports the claim that the Marvel is the best putter on the market, I'm not so sure. In this specific test with Scott's putting style and technique, the Marvel was the best putter. But if you have a different putting style and technique, there may be a better putter for you. What I find most interesting about this is that so few people I've heard of actually take this approach. Lots of players seem to choose putters based on some sort of emotional reaction or how it feels in their hand, rather than taking a more statistical, analytical approach. So whatever approach you choose to take, leave a comment down below and tell us about how you go about trying to choose your new putter. Now, let's take a look at how the Marvel actually flew for us. Off the tee, the Marvel's flight varied slightly based on the plastic. The UV Glow base blend was quite overstable, while the premium was also pretty beefy. The base blend was much more workable and actually got some nice glide, while the stiff blend was a touch more overstable than the base blend, but still less than the premium or glow. On the putting green, the Marvel definitely has some similarity to both Caleb's old P2s and my current Alpacas. It's comfortable in the hand, and they have a lot of different plastic options, which means that you'll be able to get the right grip that works for you. If you've had success with deeper beadless putters, the Marvel could definitely be good for you too. All in all, for a smaller brand, Birdie has an incredible lineup of discs, and they're just getting started. Birdie has plans to continue building out their lineup with their first distance driver, the Reach, already PDGA approved back in August of 2023. And Derek says there's more to come, with an approach disc coming in the near future. Whether it's a smaller brand like Birdie or one of the top dogs in the game, take some time to explore more of what disc golf has to offer. You might just find some hidden gems. And those are our first impressions of Birdie Disc Golf Supply. Huge thanks to Derek Fell and Scott Stokely for answering our many questions about Birdie, and thank you very much to you for watching. Make sure you check out the first episode of our podcast, All Six Sides, where Scott and I discussed everything from the early days of the sport, his place in disc golf history, and much more. Do you throw any discs from Birdie? Leave a comment down below. And while you're at it, comment below what disc or brand we should check out next. For Six Sided Discs, I'm Greg. We'll see you in the next one. One of Birdie's sponsored pros and accomplished distance thrower, Alsa. And while when we tested it alongside other T-Bird inspired fairway drivers, we were very impressed. Nope. One of Birdie's sponsored pros and accomplished distance thrower, Birdie strike.
Holy, that goes far.
Whoa.
Is that really by the basket?
Holy crap.
That went two chains.
That went so far. Oh! Ouch. If you like this content and want to see more, please consider liking the video, subscribing to our channel, or supporting us on Patreon. Your support makes this content possible.